Welcome everyone to another night review. Today we have the 2021 Lexus IS 350 F Sport all-wheel drive, and in this video we're going to look at all the exterior lights, interior lights, and we're going to take it for a test drive and see just how well everything does. Now let's take a look at the exterior details first of all on these exterior lights. If this is your first time tuning in for a night review, let me know what you think. I do night reviews and regular reviews, so be sure to subscribe if you want to see those. Now starting right up front, the IS is updated for 2021. Maybe not as much as some of you wanted, but the headlights are even updated a little bit too. I'll talk about that in a little bit, but the daytime running light is LED. It's that check mark, the L theme, which is integrated into the headlight. And those are actually triple beam LED headlights, which are the premium headlights. They actually improved the non-premium headlights for this year, and I'll talk about that pretty soon. You still get a massive, large spindle grille up front with the mesh black on this F Sport. And then here, Lexus actually gives you a separate blinker, the indicator from the daytime running light. So it's full LED up front. I think that looks really nice. It's aggressive. And the paint color on this IS is infrared. I think it looks great. It's a very deep red. It looks great at night, and it looks good in the daytime as well. Now moving along to look at the side body, the design is slightly refreshed, but I think they did just enough to make it look better, in my opinion. I'd love to hear your thoughts as well. You can see the marker light on the side of the headlight there and the indicator in the mirror, paired with 19-inch BBS alloy wheels. The IS stays in the same class. It is the smaller Lexus sedan. And as we come to the back, you got that marker light on the taillight, incandescent turn signal to my surprise, LED license plate lights, but look at this taillight. This is kind of a new thing. I'd love to know what you guys think. I mean, we've been seeing this for a little bit with different brands, the connecting taillight. What do y'all think of that? You still have the L theme, you know, to where it meets the actual taillight housing, but let me know what your thoughts are. Plus you get double exhaust outlet on the F Sport. And then take a look at the brake lights and the backup lights. And now to take a quick look at the lighting in the cargo area. Got a little touchpad right there. So back here, it's actually really dim. I mean, it would help if I had something back here to actually have the light shine on, but it's really dim, and it's so dim that I'm losing focus. But there's a little bit of a light right there, but that's really all you get. You know, SUVs, you get a bigger, brighter light, but it's kind of a small trunk anyways. Now right back here on this rear pillar, take a look at this paint. I mean, it just looks nice. You know, be sure to check out my daytime review if you want to see it in the daytime too, but it just looks good. But let's take a quick look at the back seat. Just a quick glance. You get LED lights back here, no actual like ambient lighting here, but you've got one big one in the middle and then individual lamps, reading lamps for each passenger. The one big light is actually pretty bright, but you've got illuminated buttons and the side lights are really bright. And then the most important place of all, the front seat interior. We've got these F Sport seats, dark interior, a little bit hard to see at night. Got the overhead light. Let's go ahead and hop in. All right, let's start this up. Foot on the brake, the start button lights up, and we're off. So you've got kind of some nice little graphics when you get start up here. The Lexus on there, the headlights up here, and the sliding gauge cluster. Now things are pretty dark in here in general. There's not really like the big vibrant ambient lighting, you know, things like that, like some of the recent ones that we've seen. But let me show you what all we do have. So if you want to see more details, be sure to check out my daytime review, but you've got a little bit of ambient lighting in the door handle, so that's kind of a nice glow. You've got all of these buttons and switches illuminated, you know, your windows, your mirrors, all that. There's no lighting in the cup holder area, which I would kind of, you know, maybe expect, but it's not a big deal. And we have a couple important buttons here. So your odometer and trip computer button, but most importantly, this is how you control your interior and display brightness. So up or down, all that. And next, the A with the headlight symbol, that is your automatic high beams. We'll go through that in the test drive. Below that, you got a 360 camera, a rear sunshade, and a sound control. There's no approach lighting, but right at your feet, you get this little puddle lamp, which is nice. And then right in front of us, this is with the brightness turned up. So you've got the old style steering wheel, but you've got all these buttons illuminated. The only thing is the cruise control stock down there, it does not have illumination on it. That's kind of a little bit of a miss. Up in front of us, you've got a couple pieces of information here. So first of all, you can move this ring of information over, and you have one gauge where you can go through different information here, or you can move it like that and have all that information on the side. But I go through this in more detail in my video. As we come over, you saw the start stop button is illuminated, and this is an optional screen here. So this screen is actually moved forward, and it's also a touch screen. So check it out. You did not have a touch screen before. That's not the only cool thing. The sound system is upgraded. The little scrolling mouse pad is gone, and now you have the touch pad, which still isn't perfect, but I like it a lot better, and I like the placement better. This does have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto as well when you plug those in, so that's fantastic. So if you hit menu on your touchpad and go to setup, you can go to display, and then you can customize this display brightness or even turn the screen off if you want. You can also go to settings and then go to vehicle customization, and then you can change your light settings. So you can have your daytime running lights on or off depending on how long you want your interior lights on, how sensitive you want your headlights to turn on, things like that. Lexus gives you its very classy illuminated clock, got dual zone climate control, and all of this is illuminated very well too. I mean, all of the buttons are nice and easy. This temperature thing is a slider now, which is kind of weird. You can slide or tap, but I mean, everything is well lit up. Volume knob, tuning knob with little illuminated rings around it and backlit buttons. So that looks nice. If I throw this bad boy into reverse, we've got a panoramic camera you can see on the side with dynamic lines. Or if you're sitting still and you just hit the camera button next to the steering wheel, you get this bird's eye view look like that. So that's pretty neat. Your heated, ventilated, and heated steering wheel controls are all lit up for you and your passenger. Even drive mode buttons right there. So all that is illuminated. Nice backlighting for there. So there's obviously exterior light coming in, but if I touch the overhead light, it lights everything up really well. So take a look at the steering wheel. This is all illuminated well. The armrest is illuminated well over there. So lighting is good in here. You've got LED lights up here. You can touch sensitive, turn them on or off. So you kind of got these little reading lights, which don't really interfere with me as a driver. I mean, that really doesn't bother me having that on. Well, you got this big bright one in the middle. And this door button, so if you have that pushed, selected or not, for example, if I open the door, the lights do not turn on. But if I press that button again, open the door, the lights will turn on. Plus you got an automatic dimming rearview mirror with garage controls and the optional moonroof up above. There's no lighting in the cup holders, and there's no lighting in here except for backlit USB and auxiliary ports. Just a quick look, you've got a nice softly lined, somewhat small storage area. Another note is when you turn the overhead lights on, you get lighting down by your feet. So check that out, on and off. So that's pretty cool. If you actually lose something down there, you can see down by your feet, both you and the driver and passenger side. And Lexus has an illuminated glove box. And then as we look overhead, check it out. When you open that up, you've got a mirror and a vanity light. All right, y'all, let's take a look at these headlights. So first of all, these headlights are not adaptive, and these are the premium headlights. So you cannot get adaptive headlights on the IS, and we don't even have fog lights. But these are the low beams. Take a good look in the middle. You see a definite dip, and the whole headlight sits pretty low. I mean, this car is pretty low, but that dip is for oncoming traffic, and you'll really see that that kind of affects our visibility coming up. So these are the low beams, and the high beams, pretty bright right in the middle. You can definitely see the crown there. Off to the side, we'll have to look at that when we get into the dark. And Lexus actually improved the base headlights all the way up to the top good rating on the IIHS, but these ones with the triple beam headlights get only an acceptable rating. So the lower non-premium headlights are better. All right, y'all, we're gonna get behind the wheel, give you a good look at how well these headlights do. To start out with, we'll do this point of view camera angle right here, and then I'll switch over to that one and you'll get a better look at how well the headlights do. We'll check out them on well-lit roads, dark roads, test out the automatic high beams as well, and just want you to get a good feel of what it's like to drive this IS at night. Now, we won't talk much about driving characteristics and dynamics and all that. I talk about that in my full review. And I have a longer point of view test drive where I don't even talk at all, and I use binaural audio if you want to get a good sense of the sounds and the feel of this car. But let's go ahead and get started. Just for fun, when we take off here in just a sec, I'll put it in Sport Plus mode, and I have active sound control turned on, or turned on and up, so you'll get a good view. Sport Plus gives you a special gauge, looks pretty sweet. And this is all-wheel drive, so there's no burnouts, at least not in here. And pedal down. You get a lot of sound in here. 3.5 liter V6, 6-speed transmission, a little over 300 horsepower. Can't sneeze at it, that's for sure. It's not as much as, you know, some maybe would want it to be, but it's definitely still fun. So we're gonna get out of sport mode, normal mode. Quick note before we get on our dark roads: rear view mirror is automatic dimming, but neither of these side mirrors are automatic dimming. I'm not sure if they're available on here. I would think so, but no automatic dimming side mirrors, which is a little bit bummer on this $50,000 plus vehicle. But the interior is well illuminated in terms of the buttons, but there's no soft glow illumination in certain areas like the center console or you know, overhead lights or dash lights or things like that. So let me know if you'd like to see that, but let's go ahead and get on this dark road. Okay, as we get on to this darker road, we'll have a couple curves. I will turn the high beams on, automatic high beams, low beams. I'll kind of cycle through them so you can get a good sense. And let's switch camera angles. So coming over the hill, we have the low beams on, and they have really good distance when they can shine without their cutoff line. But as we come down, you can really see how close the cutoff line is. It's closer than I would like. You know, it helps prevent blinding oncoming drivers, but still, I can't see into that corner very well at all. High beams do perfectly fine. You know, not every situation you'll be able to use your high beams though. But as we flatten out, it gets a little bit better. Definitely still kind of dark in the distance. The Lexus NS adaptive lights, or NX lights, did so well, and these are definitely disappointing compared to those. Low beams still on. Now the high beams, so I'm happy with those. The high beams have good distance. You can see the markers on the road. Low beams, definitely a big drop. The low beams are very bright where they shine. High beams, going into the corner with the high beams, and that's doing really well. So if you can use the high beams, I would definitely go for it. I'm turning the automatic high beams on now, so that means they will always be on the high beams unless they sense a car or light. So the street light to the left does not turn off the headlight, so that is nice. Some high beams are oversensitive. Now with these high beams on, I can see really well straight up ahead. So for the automatic function, you don't actually have to move the stock into the high beam setting. You just push the A in the headlight symbol next to the steering wheel. I'm gonna turn those off, get a good look into the ditches. They go out pretty far. I mean, you can see off to the right and a little bit off to the left. So I mean, the beam pattern is fairly wide, so that's not bad. I just wish we maybe had fog lights, or the low beams could go a little further down the road. Still have the okay, so I just turned the automatic high beams on, and the low beams are on because of oncoming traffic. They should turn on, and now the high beams kicked on. So that worked well. I haven't really had too much trouble with these Lexus and Toyota automatic high beams, and I honestly like having the actual button to turn the automatic function on. It's a little bit inconvenient being placed to the left of the steering wheel, but it's just fine. So when you get below a certain speed, the high beams will turn off no matter what. We're gonna pull in behind this truck and we'll see how it does behind traffic. Oh, the high beams kicked on for a brief moment, even though there was that truck and this vehicle right here, but then they went back to the low beams. So didn't get a bunch of tests with the automatic function, but we haven't blinded anybody except that brief moment back there, and I have not had anybody flash me. That's always a good thing. That means these are not blinding to oncoming traffic. But what do y'all think of these headlights? Honestly, I would go for the non-premium headlights, so not the triple beam, because the other ones supposedly have better distance and do a better job overall. But I like the revisions for this Lexus IS. I have a full daytime review coming out and another kind of shortened review of what all has been improved, so be sure to check those out in the description below. Hit that thumbs up button if you liked the video and you want to see more night videos. Hope you have a great day, and we'll catch you next time.